Right.
There you go.
Get you in the seat first.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
very good.
It's on now.
Alright, James, or if you're needed, James, by the way, Lon Schmidt,
Nice to meet you.
nice to meet you. And you're Monty Jensen.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna depend on you two guys to guide me through this because I'm the man in the dark here on this whole thing. And you're gonna enlighten me and all the radio audience.
Roger.
I'd say just mostly concentrate on him.
And good morning, Lon Schmidt. That's me. Take you right up to 9 o'clock here this morning, the Monday morning edition of the Eye Opener. We've got a real special program coming up here over the next 25 minutes or so. And that is in the studio here with me right now. We do have from the Minnesota Freedom Council, we have Ron Kaus, James Erfurth. He's busy doing other things. He's running a camera here right now. And then also we have a gentleman by the name of Monty Jensen, who, as I understand it, now correct me if I'm wrong, Ron. First, let me preface this whole thing with just a little bit. Last Thursday and Friday on this very show, I said what was going to happen with this upcoming election is we're going to have results of the election, and somebody won, somebody lost, somebody won, somebody lost. Right after that, or maybe even before, prefacing it, is going to be issues of fraud, voter fraud. Well, we haven't even gotten to the election yet, and I might add too that this is breaking news. This is something that has not been seen in the paper, and this is a local situation right here in Crow Wing County. And so you guys know the guidelines, you know the regulations. If nothing has been proved or anything, it's alleged. All right, it's an alleged situation. And first of all, let me start off with Ron Kaus from the Minnesota Freedom Council. Ron, you were the first one in here, so you're the first one to get a chance to speak. Tell everyone, including myself, because I'm a little bit in the dark in this as well, but let's tell everyone what's going on.
Well, I was out doing yard work on Saturday morning when I got a call from a guy who I didn't know, Monty Jensen, and he told me that he had seen firsthand some voter fraud while he was absentee voting at the county, right at the county courthouse on the second floor there.
Uh-huh.
So he said, well, what do I do? And I said, well, would you be willing to be interviewed and that sort of thing? And we went up to the county courthouse, and you can see it on our website, minnesotafreedom.org. We're trying to capture this because we do think it's a huge story. And the bottom line is that I think a lot of people are taking interest now in elections, and there's a grassroots effort that people want election integrity. They want their vote to count, and they do not want fraudulent votes counting. So we're patriots of this country, and we're very jealous about that. That's what makes us different than any other country, is we can freely elect our officials. And so I said, well, let's go from there, and maybe, Monty, you could tell us what you observed on Friday
Monty,
afternoon.
yeah, move right up very close to that microphone there, just like I am, right up on top of it a little bit. All right, Monty, welcome to the show, by the way.
Thank you.
And I just met you a matter of minutes ago, so you and I are just learning to know who each other are. Monty, what happened? What'd you see?
Well, currently I work 2 hours away from Brainerd where I live, so I was going to file my absentee vote, me and my significant other. And we came in late afternoon, late evening actually, into the courthouse. It was around 4:30, 4:45.
Late afternoon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we got in there, and there was quite a large crowd in there doing absentee voting. And
Okay.
so I filled out my application and turned it in, and they're verifying my information to see if I have no idea what they're doing, and they're getting assistance and direction from someone else voting. She was talking to him in a manner of like you would talk to a child on how to stay between the lines when they're coloring. It was, I could not believe it, what I was hearing.
And so these individuals, now first of all, we do not want to give the impression that the Minnesota Freedom Council or us or any of the four of us that are sitting in this room that those people that have the capabilities, who may be just physically handicapped or with some slight mental handicaps, shouldn't be allowed to vote. We're not saying that. Correct me if I'm wrong, if any one of the three of you believe that,
No,
because I
that's-
believe that
no.
would absolutely not be true in any circumstances.
We have some
But-
disabilities ourselves.
And I think probably all of us do, yes. But the problem being when a person does not even understand where they are, why they're there, what they're doing, and being instructed on who to vote for by a second party, that's where the line is drawn. Now, somewhere in the mix of this, there's going to be some legal mumbo jumbo. And I don't know, I'm not an attorney, I don't know where the legality begins and ends with a person's disabilities. All right, I'm going to make that perfectly clear. But I think it's pretty much a given with any person with a sense of any being whatsoever, when a person does not understand even what building they're in, or why they're there, or what they're doing there, is capable of making an intelligent decision to vote, especially when you, Monty, witnessed the people saying, well, no, here, fill this one in right here, and then fill this one in here. Am I wrong?
No, that is correct. That is 100% correct.
This is real scary.
Absolutely.
Now, Monty, thank you very much for that description of what happened. Ron or James, either one of you, what is going to happen now? Well, I mean, where do we go from here? What has happened since all this went down?
Well, first, of course, we got involved to just kind of assist and help them figure out what to do. We filed a complaint with the county auditor. Monty filed a complaint with the county auditor, and which an affidavit. We just turned that in this morning, prior to coming here. That's why we were late. So he's turned that in. It gets sent to the county attorney, and the county attorney will then investigate. Of course, the investigation is going to take a while. That'll be post the election day, and fortunately, those votes will count. That's what we were told by the county auditor. So that's the unfortunate part. Is yes, in this election time, we've us. We've been harping on this integrity election. Keeping a watch on the polls, and we do. I mean, we have lots of eyes out there, but all we're getting is more witnesses and less crimes.
Were these developmentally disabled folks, were they coming from private homes, or were they coming from
that is what we're trying to find
an
out.
institution
We don't know at this
somewhere?
point.
We
We're
have
investigating.
leads,
Okay.
but we're not going to say, of course, why or what. But we do have leads that we are checking into on that very deal.
So I do have to take a little bit of a break, and we'll be back here in just a minute. And we are going to be talking again with James Erfurth, Ron Kaus, and also a witness to this, Monty Jensen, regular guy, private citizen, who happened to witness this in the courthouse doing absentee voting. Voter fraud, breaking news here on 3WI. We'll be right back.
What happened, Monty?
So I came to the dispatch because they called me because of the some of the radio and media things that are going on with the voter fraud issue. And I met with Michael Rourke, I think is how you say his name, is that correct? And I gave him a copy of my statement that I turned into the courthouse, and I said all the facts are in there. And he asked me a few questions about my background and so forth. Nothing's an issue. I don't have any problems with that. And he kept skirting questions about who I support as candidates, and he kept just going over and over different ways of asking them and so forth. And I kept trying to tell him this has nothing to do with politics. I don't support one party. I vote all over the lines. I vote for the best candidate. And and he kept asking and asking, and in different methods of different questions. And I said, the bottom line is, I support Chip Krivak because he's a veteran. That's it. I don't have a Paul Gazelka sign. I don't have a Emmer sign. I don't have any other sign in my yard, nor have I ever had a past candidate sign in my possession in my life of any sort. Cheney, doesn't matter who, or Bush Cheney, any of these. John McCain, didn't matter. I never had anything. And I said, so it's not relevant. The facts are in the statement. And he kept saying that because I was asked a question on the radio
They asked what kind of candidates were they directing, because these staff members were directing these handicapped individuals what candidates to vote for. And he said, you didn't put that in your statement because that they were voting for DFL candidates. I said, it's not relevant. The crime is that someone else is voting for a handicapped individual. That's the issue. And he would not focus on that, constantly skirt around that, and wants to bring party politics into it, which is not relevant in my life.
Absolutely.
I support Trip Kravac clearly because he's a veteran.